Hello everyone, this is your Sahu sir. So today let us go through with the topic, and the topic today we are going to discuss, that is factors promoting economic development. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss today with you. Should we start? Of course, yes, right? So primarily, first of all, we should go through with the introduction, and what we should write the introduction. It is related to economic development. So first of all, we should write the meaning of economic development. So what we have discussed in my previous videos, I think you have been heard, right? Economic development means it includes both economic economic growth and socio and economic changes. Then we used to call it as a economic development. It includes economic growth also. What is it? Increase in output, along with that socio changes as well as the economic changes. It has to be included. So previously it is defined once you check out my previous videos. Now we will discuss the factors which are determined for the economic development. So for the economic development, what are the factors we require? What are the factors we require for the economic development? So here the factors has been divided into two parts. Number one is economic factors, and number two we have non-economic factors. So we will discuss one by one what are those economic factors, what are those non-economic factors. We will discuss one by one. Okay now, so let me take the fresh page and write it. That is number one, that is economic factors. What are those economic factors? We will discuss only some important points only we will discuss, and these points especially meant for 2 marks actually, right? In that point A, called it as capital formation. In the previous, we have discussed this topic. Once you check out the previous videos also, that is the increase in capital stock of assets, the increase in capital stock of assets due to income and savings. Why? Because capital formation completely depends upon the income and savings. Why? Because if the income and savings are more, then capital formation will be also more, and due to this capital formation, economic development is also increased. How this happens? For example, if the income increases, then savings will also increases. Where he usually saves the money? Most probably in the banks or the deposits. What deposits? The bank deposits will be more. Yes or no? If the bank deposits are more, then most probably the bank convert the deposits into loans. So due to this, the loan availability will be more, and these loans are given to those persons who want to establish the industries or companies, especially to the new entrepreneur, right? So due to this, what happens here, for them the capital and investment availability will be more. That is how the capital is been formed. Investment and capital is been increased is nothing but capital formation will be increased. Capital formation will be increased, right? In this topic we have another topic, that is ICOR, that is incremental capital output ratio. Incremental capital output ratio. So what is this? We will discuss. Right. So let us discuss what is this incremental capital output ratio. It says as additional requirement of capital for additional production, right? Additional, how much capital is required to do the additional production, right? Or we can also call it as returns on investment. Returns on investment also we used to call it. This is related to ICOR. How much the investment is been done, and on that investment how much returns are expected. This is also calculated with the help of incremental capital output ratio. This is point A, which we haven't discussed, right? So let us discuss the next topic, that is the point B. And the point B is natural resources. So what is this natural resources? Let us see. So natural resources are also very important for economic development, right? What are those? Like soil, land, fertile land, next minerals, right? Forest, right, etc. These are all which are being needed for the economic development, that is the natural resources. And these natural resources is being used, and it is been gone through with a production. When it is being utilized for the production, then economic development will be more. Just available of natural resources is not enough. Means whatever the natural resources are available, those natural resources has to be exploited and used for the purpose of production, then the economic development is can be achieved. Most probably abundance of natural resources are available, but those resources has to be put in the use, right? And if it is been put in the use, then only a country can have the more economic development. If there is a deficiency of natural resources, which could lead to economic development very less. Economic development will become very very less in our country. The very very bad situation is oil reserves are not available in our country. Oil reserves, oil related natural resources are not available. Iraq, Iran, UAE. So there you can see the crude oil is available. Right. So if those resources are available more, then economic development will be more. Iran, UAE, Iraq, how they have sustained their economy with the help of those natural resources, crude oil, they have developed their nation. They were getting some sort of GDP as well as the national income with those natural resources only. In the same way, in our country, for example, India, agricultural resources, mineral resources, forestry resources are more. And if it is being used effectively and efficiently, definitely we used to have the good economic development. But what is the problem? Unused and underexploited. Okay, na? In our country, it is underexploited, right? So if the resources are under exploitation, then economic development will also less. This is related to natural resource. Okay, now next, in the same way, the third point which we are going to discuss, that is number C, marketable marketable surplus. Marketable surplus, right? So whenever any sort of production is being done, the production should be done in a surplus. What is this marketable surplus? Right, it refers to excess output over and above than the domestic need. Then the domestic need, then the remaining is called as marketable surplus, right? We have to achieve the excess production than the domestic requirement. We have to do the excess production. That excess production, after fulfilling the domestic requirement, then it is called it as a marketable surplus. For example, okay, India is doing rice production. So India requires domestic requirement how much? The domestic requirement is 100 million ton. 100 million tons. Okay now. But what is the actual production? Actual production is achieved, for example, 150 million tons. 150 million tons. Domestic requirement how much? 100. How much we have achieved actual production? 150. Then after satisfying the domestic requirement, how much is remained? 50 million tons. This 50 million tons is called as the marketable surplus. This is called as the marketable surplus. What we will do with this marketable surplus? Simply we used to export, and due to that we used to get the national income as well as the GDP. That is why every country is obsessed to get the marketable surplus. Okay, now did you understand? So this is the point C which we have been discussed. In the same way, some more important we will discuss, that is point D we will discuss, that is technological progress. So what is this technological progress? Let us see. Under this technological progress, if economic development has to be achieved, then definitely technological progress has to be increased. Why? Because here, if the production is done with the help of modern techniques, modern techniques and new technology new technology, then economic development will be more. Why? Because here, if they were following the new technology, due to that, what happens? They can reduce the cost of production. They can reduce the cost of production, and due to that, less cost, more production, and due to that, prices will be less and cost of production will be less, as well as more income can be generated. But here in the developing countries, if they will follow the labor intensive techniques, okay na, if they follow the labor intensive techniques, then the cost of production will be higher and prices will be higher. Due to that, income will be less, and due to that, losses will be sustained, and economic growth won't be there, economic development won't be there, national income will be less, as well as per capita income will also less, isn't it? So that is why technological progress is very, very important. And here, old and traditional old and traditional methods has to be omitted to achieve the economic development, right? So this is one of the factor required for the economic development, and that is the technological progress. Okay now, next point, the point number 8, that is called as division of labor. This is another factor which is very, very important under the economic factors. So what is this division of labors? Means the work is divided according to specialization, okay na, means here there are many types of labors with many qualifications, and many professional qualifications are been available. So whenever the work is divided according to the specialization, then most probably we can see there is a increase in productivity, and most probably here we can do some sort of smart work. Right? So increase in productivity is very, 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 very important, and they have to divide the work according to their skill, according to their talent, according to their qualification, as well as according to their experience, right? And here the division of labor has to be carried out, right? And in the process of this, largely, if it is divided, then most probably economic development will be more, right? So these are some of the points which we have been discussed under the economic factors. Next we will discuss, that is, okay na, non-economic factors. This is number 2. Under this non-economic factors, here the first point is been given out, that is human resource. This is one of the very, very important related to the division of labors only. Here in our country, the human resources are available more, but the resources like the different skilled resources and semi-skilled resources and unskilled resources, right? So to achieve the economic development, to improve the economic development, basically human resource, under that skilled and semi-skilled resources are required, and this should be more. If the unskilled resources are more, if the unskilled resources if the unskilled resources are more, then economic development will be less. In the same way, how should be the human resources should be educated, next with good health, and they must have, okay, no disease, no diseases, as well as, okay, literate, then only they can contribute to human resources, and these human resources are needed for the economic development. Uneducated person, useless for the productivity. Diseased person, useless for the economic development. Okay, na? Illiterate are the useless for economic development. So we should have the compulsory good human resources which will be helpful for the development of a economy, because good healthy persons, skilled persons, semi-skilled persons will contribute more for the national income and for the productivity, as well as per capita income will be also increased. Yes, in the same way, next point we will discuss under the non-economic factors. Point B we will discuss, and the point B is related to political and administrative factors. Administrative factors, right? So this is, you know very well about politics, right? We should definitely need a good political aspects. Okay, na? The political persons with a good knowledge who can understand the economy, how to develop, the good finance minister, the good prime minister, and such type of good political person we used to require. If he has taken the initiation, if he has taken the initiation for the development, obviously with the good plans and policies like such as 5-year plans. Good 5-year plans are to be prepared by the politic or politicals, which is helpful for the economic development. Previously, during the time of Britishers, okay na? Remember, Dada Bhai Navaroji, Navarozi, okay na, has given a theory is called as, that is, drain drain theory, because lack of good political aspect, right? The Britishers has taken away all good resources resources freely without paying, okay na, no paying of tax, as well as for the resources also. They didn't pay any single rupee for our resources. Because of us only, they become as a developed country. India is the primary reason for the development. If we don't give the primary resources freely, then they would not have been developed. We have been more developed than them itself. Okay, na? And at that time, good political leadership is been not there, and we used to be the slaves towards the Britishers, and they have taken away all those kind of resources from us without paying for the resources, as well as no tax is also been paid. Right? So, if it is been going on now also, then we will not get this kind of economic development. So, we have to take out the initiation for good political reforms, good planning, and good policies for the economic development. Sincerely, each and every politician should hard work for the improvement of national income, not his income. But they were making those political stunts because for their improvement in their income. Okay, now if you ask what is the national income, he will tell his income, and obviously his income is more than the national income nowadays, right? Next, the other point C. This is relating to the social factors, right? What is the social factors? The social factors is related to society, right? That is attitude, attitudes, okay, na? Values and beliefs. How it should be? It should be modern. It should be modern. Okay, now modern way of thinking, modern attitude, modern values, and traditional beliefs and superstitious belief does not contribute for the economic development. Okay, now if we have the modern thinking, okay, now then absolutely the economic development will be more. We can achieve the economical development. Okay, now changing the attitude in the modern way, changing the values in a modern way, changing the beliefs in the modern way leads to the economical development. Okay, now old and traditional traditional beliefs, okay, now does not contribute contribute to national income as well as GDP as well as economic development. So due to this, what happens? All will be decreased. National income, GDP will be decreased as well as economic development will also decrease. Okay, now? So this is some two factors is very enough, and most probably for 2 marks questions once you check out in your intermediate exam. Okay, now everybody, I hope you are understanding, and if you have any sort of queries, do let me know in the comment and suggestions also, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more and more topics, right? So thank you so much.